Hi everyone, welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Karen.
Hey everybody, I'm Shane, and we're looking at part 2 of a look at Normandy's history and sites.
That's right.
So far, all we know about Normandy is the history of fighting and wars.
A lot of battles have taken place and a lot of wars. A lot of innocent lives have been lost.
So knowing you, that doesn't seem like the kind of place that you would like to go on a vacation. So if you could go anywhere in Europe, where would you like to go for a vacation?
For vacation?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I would probably choose Greece or Italy or Spain.
Let me guess. All of these places, what do they have in common? Nice beaches.
Beautiful scenery, nice beaches, a great place to just kind of chill and relax.
Okay, so when you're going on a vacation and you're sightseeing, actually you don't really want to go see like architecture and museums and those kind of sites. The sites you want to see are more natural,
Yes.
or maybe just an ocean and some sand, right?
Well, I know some people who would love to see a lot of history though. How about you?
I've tried. When I backpacked through Europe, I went to all the museums and everything, but honestly, I don't remember anything.
Really?
And I kind of wish I would have just had more fun and met more people and maybe see the locals and interact, not just go there and look at a bunch of museums and historical sites.
So I guess you're not really into history either?
I guess maybe not.
Okay, but I know sometimes history might seem a little bit, cruel because a lot of people are, fighting and taking over people's land. But I still think it's important to understand what happened in the past so we can
learn from it.
Exactly. We can avoid our mistakes, right? And create better future for everybody.
All right, well, let's learn more about Normandy's history and sites.
Okay.
If you visit Normandy, start at the city of Caen. Much of the city was destroyed during the D-Day invasion, though several historic churches survived. From this city, visitors can tour the D-Day beaches and memorials, including the Caen Memorial Museum. A short drive away from Caen is the town of Rouen. Walking on the city's cobblestone streets, visitors can experience the town's historic Gothic churches and buildings.
Okay, a look at Normandy's history and sites part 2.
That's right. So I think we already learned a lot about the history and all the wars and battles, right? But I think a lot of people will probably want to learn more, like what other things has Normandy, can offer us, if we want to go for a visit.
Right.
Okay, well, let's learn more. If you visit Normandy, start at the city of Caen. Much of the city was destroyed during the D-Day invasion, though several historic churches survived. Wow.
So another place you're going to visit, but most of it was destroyed. So sad.
During the D-Day invasion. Remember we talked about the attack, the invasion, right?
Right.
Okay, well, though several historic churches survived, we're talking about some historic churches. Historic is our first vocabulary word, and when you use this word, it just means that something important or famous in history.
Right.
Right?
A historic event, a historic person.
Exactly.
Right?
And then they said that though several historic churches survived, that means they didn't get destroyed. They survived actually the destruction. And in our example sentence, it says, the museum has a large collection of historic photographs. So that means some important pictures or photographs in history.
That could be interesting to see.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. From this city, visitors can tour the D-Day beaches and memorials. Beaches for you.
Oh, I love beaches.
Including the Caen Memorial Museum. So, but I don't know if those are the kind of beaches that are like really fun for just like
Getting
having a pina colada and watching the ocean.
Well, I guess you're right. Could be a little bit different, right?
Right. So we have another vocabulary word, memorial.
That's right.
So a memorial, this is a noun, meaning like a statue or a structure that was built to really in the memory of somebody or some event.
That's right.
Right?
But it could also be like a, like a monument or like
a ceremony.
That's right, ceremony as well.
Okay. The example sentence we have, A war memorial now stands in the field where a great battle took place over 60 years ago.
So I think people will want to go and visit because they want to remember what happened, right?
Yeah, maybe the people who might have died there during this, like the war. There will probably be some place where their names are written and they can go there to pay their thanks or just to say, I love you, I miss you, that kind of thing.
Exactly. A short drive away from Caen is the town of Rouen. Walking on the city's cobblestone streets, visitors can experience the town's historic Gothic churches and buildings.
Wow, cobblestone streets, that sounds really like romantic. I feel like I'm in a fairy tale or something.
Exactly. Cobblestone streets, basically it's like streets, but they're paved with cobblestones, like little round pebbles, little round stones. That's right, and people can walk on them. And visitors can experience the town's historic Gothic churches and buildings. So when you're talking about Gothic churches...
I love Gothic architecture.
Do you?
Yeah, it's so cool.
Like the pointing arches and tall, thin walls, and usually with really large windows as well.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like the Dark Ages.
Exactly. That was really popular during that time.
Right. When I lived in Spain, there were a lot of Gothic churches there to go and look at. I love to just sit there like at nighttime, especially at night. It's really cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so now from here we learned that not only did Normandy offer us just, like some history of the war and the battles, but there are a lot of cool places that we can visit, right?
Yeah, I think those churches, that sounds really interesting to me. I'd like to go just to see those.
Exactly. Okay, well, let's take a short break and we'll come back for more.
All right.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。第一天的课文简单介绍诺曼底的历史，今天要来看看有哪些必看的景点。那首先，作者就建议我们从康城开始。这个城市在诺曼底登陆入侵期间，大部分的地区都遭到摧毁了。不过有几座具有历史意义的教堂幸存下来。那从这座城市呢，游客就可以游览诺曼底登陆的海滩啊和纪念物等等。我们的单字 historic， 它是形容具有重大历史意义的，或是历史性的、历史悠久的。那么 memorial 它当名词可以表达纪念碑、纪念物，那么也可以当形容词来形容是纪念性的或者是追悼的。好，那么课文接着写到说呢，从康城开车只要一小段路程就可以到达卢昂镇。那么走在城里面这个鹅卵石的街道上呢，你可以体验到这个城镇历史悠久的哥德式教堂和建筑。文中用到 cobblestone 就是鹅卵石。那么 Gothic 它是形容哥德式的或是哥德风格的。那这边有一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看这个重点是主词补语的倒装。要强调主词补语，或者是主词它带有比较长的修饰语的话呢，你可以把主词补语移到句首。那这时候要再把主词跟 be 动词倒装。以句型来看，你原本直述句的句型可能是主词加 be 动词加主词补语。倒装之后呢，你就会发现它会变成主词补语加 be 动词加主词。有没有发现就是第一个跟第三个位置交换了呢？好，举例来说 ，The cute guy I met yesterday is standing at the door。我昨天遇到那个可爱男生就站在门口。我们把主词补语 standing at the door 移到句首，然后经过倒装，句子就变成 Standing at the door is the cute guy I met yesterday。好，那我们接着回到课文中。
The town is also one of several locations around Normandy that inspired Impressionist painters such as Claude Monet. You can get a closer look at their paintings in numerous museums across Normandy, or you can even visit Monet's house, which is in the nearby village of Giverny. Besides the region's historic towns, there are interesting destinations along Normandy's coast. One essential stop is Mont Saint-Michel, an island with a giant 500-year-old church that resembles a fairy tale castle. Another place that should not be missed is the seaside resort of Deauville, which features around 2 kilometers of golden beaches. While many might only recognize the name Normandy from textbooks, the region has plenty to offer. With its history, natural beauty, and architecture, Normandy is a destination that visitors never forget.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome.
So we're still learning about this great place, Normandy, right?
Yeah, so we've learned a little bit, like if we go there, we can kind of see like the war memorials. We can
right.
check out some really cool Gothic churches.
That's right, your favorite, right?
Yeah. All right,
and also some beaches as well, right?
Oh, you have to mention your beaches, right? But I think that's like more like historically important beaches, not necessarily for like the sun and fun. But
I guess you're
right. But I'm not
right.
sure. Maybe they are. Okay, let's continue reading. The town is also one of several locations around Normandy that inspired Impressionist painters such as Claude Monet.
Impressionist painters.
I really love Impressionism.
I do too. But what is Impressionism?
Well, and basically it's art that's kind of using like points of like color or light even.
Or reflects different kind of light, right?
I think the real point of it is like before that, when you painted something, it wanted to be really, really realistic.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
almost
right.
like the more it looks like, if I'm painting you, the more it looks like you, the better.
That's right.
But Impressionism is more like the impression that you get. So if I think you're really happy and a very sweet person, I will maybe make you more light and I will brighten up certain things. It's kind of the impression that you give me.
So it doesn't have to be very, very realistic, right?
Yes.
And we all know Claude Monet is known for, to be an impressionist.
Yeah, I think he's probably the most important, or at least the most famous impressionist painter.
Exactly. Okay, our first vocabulary word here is location, and that is a noun. And location basically just means a place or a position, right?
Yeah.
And we always hear this, when you're trying to open up a store or, buy a place, and everyone always talks about location, location, location because it's so important.
Right, especially in real estate.
Exactly. Okay. So in our example sentence, it says the company will open a new store in this location next year. So if they open a new store in this location, I'm pretty sure it's a good location that attracts a lot of crowd.
Right, get a lot of customers.
Exactly. Okay, let's continue. You can get a closer look at their paintings in numerous museums across Normandy. Or you can even visit Monet's house, which is in the nearby village of Giverny. Wow.
Oh, I think that's kind of cool, like going to visit or see a place where somebody, like an important historic person, lived.
Especially a really famous artist, Monet.
Yeah, because you could probably see things around there that were in his paintings, right? Things that inspired him to paint what he painted.
Definitely, and I'm really into art, so I think this is one of the parts that would really attract my attention.
All right, so we have vocabulary word numerous, which
Okay.
is an adjective just meaning many.
That's right, like
Right?
a number of,
a
quite
great
a few.
number of something. So, right? So I have numerous comic books at home.
Really?
Not really, but that's an example. The example sentence we have here, Bonnie decided to move downtown for numerous reasons.
Oh, so there are quite a lot of reasons
There are
why.
a number of reasons, right?
Not just one, but there are quite a few, right? Okay. Besides the region's historic towns, there are interesting destinations along Normandy's coast. So when you're saying Normandy's coast, basically the coast is the land near the ocean, right? Okay. One essential stop is Mont Saint-Michel. Essential means like very important, right? An island with a giant 500-year-old church that resembles a fairy tale castle. So when I say resembles a fairy tale castle, what does it mean when I say resemble something?
It just looks like a fairy tale castle.
Very good.
Because it's not really from a fairy tale, right? It's a real castle. But
Exactly.
maybe that was the inspiration when they're drawing fairy tale castles. A castle like that is the castle that was used for the inspiration to put in those fairy tales.
Exactly. So it resembles a fairy tale castle.
Okay. Another place that should not be missed is the seaside resort of Deauville, which features around 2 kilometers of golden beaches.
My favorite, golden beaches,
Whoa.
and 2 kilometers long. That's awesome.
Oh, this sounds like your kind of place.
Okay. While many might only recognize the name Normandy from textbooks, the region has plenty to offer. When you say the region has plenty to offer, plenty just means a lot to offer.
Exactly.
It's so much more than just the stuff you learn from textbooks. With its history, natural beauty, and architecture, Normandy is a destination that visitors never forget. And I'm sure that's true, right?
I'm sure it is, yeah. It sounds like it's really rich in history, so I think you're definitely going to remember a lot about it.
Exactly.
We have this word recognize. So to recognize something just means to know it or to remember it.
Exactly.
So I recognize that actor, but I don't know his name.
So you can kind of remember his face, but you don't remember his name.
Yeah, it's
right?
like, I know who that is. I can't remember his name though.
And it happens very, very often, right? Now we have so many movie stars or actors.
And I'm really bad with names too. So.
I know you are. Okay, but we do have a question for everyone though, and I think it's quite interesting. I would like to hear your answer on this.
Okay.
What aspect of Normandy appeals to you the most, and why?
I think I'm most interested in Normandy's Gothic churches.
I would think so, because you were talking a lot about the Gothic churches and how you love the architecture.
Actually, the castle sounds really cool too. Fairy tale castle. I think, the fairy tale castle and cobblestone streets. I kind of want that kind of like fairy tale feeling when I go there.
Like you're in the fairy tale,
I don't think
right?
I want to go and visit war memorials and get those kind of like, it's too close to like maybe reality, and like people being in pain. I want to be in a fairy tale.
Well, I'm most interested in
the beaches. We know, we all know.
But if I have time, I would definitely want to visit, like the museum, and also learn some history about it too, because I do think it is important.
So what appeals to you guys? Let us know.
All right, and that's all the time we have for today. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
好，那么在诺曼底有好几个地点启发了印象派画家，就像是克劳德·莫内。那这边有许多博物馆，可以让你近距离观赏他们的画作，甚至还可以去参观莫内的故居。那另外，课文也推荐2个必去的景点，一个是圣米歇尔山，一个是多维尔海滨度假胜地。尤其是前面提到这个圣米歇尔山，这个小岛上面呢有一座有500年历史，然后像童话城堡一样的大教堂。好，我们先补充文中的 Impressionist painters 表示印象派画家。那如果你把这个 Impressionist 的字尾 ist 改成 ism 变成 Impressionism 就表示印象派咯。再看单字 location 它是名词，表示地点位置。那么 numerous 它是形容许多的众多的。好，那课文最后写到，尽管许多人可能只是从教科书认识诺曼底这个名字，但这个地区可以提供很多事物。凭借着它的历史自然美景和建筑，诺曼底是游客永难忘怀的目的地。那么 recognize 这个动词就表示辨识、认出，它也有认可的意思。那我们这边要来看一个重点，进入文法时间。好，这边我们来学习一个句型是 with 名词逗号主词加动词，是表达有了什么什么，由于怎么样怎么样。那么 with 加名词就可以用来说明条件或是原因。举例来说 ，with practice you will get better at playing guitar。有了练习，你的吉他会弹得更好。有了这样的条件，有了这样的状况，你就会把吉他弹得更好咯。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
If you visit Normandy, start at the city of Caen. Much of the city was destroyed during the D-Day invasion, though several historic churches survived. From this city, visitors can tour the D-Day beaches and memorials, including the Caen Memorial Museum. A short drive away from Caen is the town of Rouen. Walking on the city's cobblestone streets, visitors can experience the town's historic Gothic churches and buildings. The town is also one of several locations around Normandy that inspired Impressionist painters such as Claude Monet. You can get a closer look at their paintings in numerous museums across Normandy, or you can even visit Monet's house, which is in the nearby village of Giverny. Besides the region's historic towns, there are interesting destinations along Normandy's coast. One essential stop is Mont Saint-Michel, an island with a giant 500-year-old church that resembles a fairy tale castle. Another place that should not be missed is the seaside resort of Deauville, which features around 2 kilometers of golden beaches. While many might only recognize the name Normandy from textbooks, the region has plenty to offer. With its history, natural beauty, and architecture, Normandy is a destination that visitors never forget.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephen.
And I'm Matt.
We're going to play a game called Word Drop, where each of us has 3 words or phrases we have not looked at yet, and then we're going to work it into a conversation as casually as possible. And I think Matt should go first.
Okay, let's get started. Okay, recently, I've been trying to decide what to do on the weekend, and so I started playing some different sports. I play football sometimes I, go to the beach and go swimming. So, now, even before I had nothing to do on the weekends, now there are numerous things I can do on the weekend.
Wow, that's great. I'm so happy for you. Actually, I stalk you on Facebook and Instagram, and I realized you do go to a lot of different places, and you're always active, playing sports, and just, like having vacations here and there. I feel like every time I look at your social media, you're at a different location.
Oh, yes. I do like to travel a lot, and recently traveling a lot in Taiwan especially, because it's been difficult to travel abroad. And I find that when I travel around in Taiwan, I tend to run into a lot of people that I know from Taipei. So, this last time I was in Tainan, and I was walking along the street, and a friend walked by me, and I didn't recognize him at first, but it was my friend.
Oh, wow, I guess you're just so popular, so many people. I also see on your social media, you don't just go to like restaurants and beaches and whatnot. You also go to a lot of temples, and also you like to really appreciate the different sites at these different places. I also see you at a lot of different historic sites, and I think it's quite nice you appreciate that.
Thanks. Yeah, I do like that. It is nice to get some culture and a little bit of history sometimes, and also to explore, some places in the city, like looking at buildings and architecture. But other times it's just nice to go and relax and go to the seaside.
Oh, yeah, it is really nice to go to the seaside. And as I was talking about your social media, because I really do stalk you and pay attention to everything that you do, one of the things I realized is that even though you go to these different historical sites, and you go to, the bars and all these fun social places, one place I don't see you go to often is memorials. I never see you go to memorials. Yeah. Is it too sad? Does it make you think about history too much?
You mean like the memorial halls? I go to those.
See you next time!